Hey guys, and welcome to another video here on G Can't Play. Um, as you may know, on this channel I try out various craps and strategies, see if it's something that you want to give a go, see how they work, see the good, the bad, the ugly. And today we've got a pretty fun one. Now this will rely on some pretty long rolls, so if we don't get that today, then obviously it's not going to show the strategy off very well. But this is the one I call up and down the board. So the way it's going to work is we're going to start with the 6 and the 8. I'm going to go with an initial bet of 30 on each. What's going to happen is if the 6 hits, we're going to use that money to place the 5. If the 8 hits, we're going to use that money to place the 9. If the 6 and the 8 hits a second time, we're going to collect. They've done their job of adding to the thing. If a 5 hits, we're going to place the 4. If a 5 hits again, we're going to collect. It's done its job. Same for 9 hits, we're going to place the 10. For 9 hits again, we're going to collect. It's done its job. Then we're going to go the other way. So once everything's across, once the 10 hits, we're going to use that to build up the 9. The 9 is now activated again. If a 9 hits, we're going to use that to build up the 8. That activates the 8. If the 8 hits, we're going to use that to go back up on the 9. Each time it's been activated or it's its first go, we're going to use it to build one up. Any other time it hits, we're going to collect. So interesting little strategy. As I said, it does rely on long rolls to really get anywhere, although you still can make a bit of profit if you get a few repeaters. For instance, if you hit the 8 the first time, put on the 9, you get a couple more 8s in the roll, then obviously you're going to get out of the hand fairly quickly. So let's get into this. As usual, we'll go through 10 shooters. If we don't get any long rolls, we might go a little longer to see if we can catch one. But this is the strategy I'm calling up and down the board. Okay, we'll turn bets off, wait for a point to be rolled, and then we'll start the strategy. You can, if you want to, play with it on straight away. If we had, we would have been up and running instantly, but most people wait until the point's been established. There we go, 6, so 30 pays 35. What we are going to do is we're actually going to take 5, and we're going to put 30 on the 5. Point is off, so we will establish a new point. There's an 8. Once again, if we'd played with the puck off, we would have been able to move across, but that's okay. Yo 11 doesn't help us in this situation. Let's see if we can get a 5 or an 8. Start building things up. 3, 4, almost there, not quite. And there's the 8, excellent. 30 pays 35. Where point is off, we are going to keep 5 of that. We're going to put 30 sorry, on the 9. Point is off, let's establish a new point. 213. Okay, going all right so far. There's a hard 4. Let's see if we can keep it going. See if we can get a few more numbers. There's a 5, excellent. 30 pays 42. So as you can see, we are going to keep them fairly even. We're going to put 30 on the 4 here as well. You could go higher if you wanted to. As I said, 30 paid 42 there, so you could go up to 40. We're going to take a little bit of profit, and the only reason we're doing that is it just gives us more opportunity further down the line if we get some short rolls to play another shooter with our bankroll, because across the course of 10 shooters, collecting 5 here, 10 there, it adds up to, possibly another roll, another 60 that you can use elsewhere. Okay, so now that we've got all this across, as I was saying, if a 6 hits, we're going to collect. If a 5 hits, we're going to collect. But if a 4 hits, we're going to use that money to build up the 5. So let's see if we can get a 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the 8 is in the system turned off. So we're not going to use that to build anything up. We're going to collect that 35. If it was a 9, we would have placed the 10. There's the 9, so we're going to place the 10. Once again, we're going to buy this one for 30. And we're going to collect that $12. Okay, and as you can see here, we're now 182 in total bets, the 2 being the VIG on the top there, 180 across at this stage. Now, if the 10 or the 4 hits, we're going to use those to build up the 5 or the 9. If anything else hits, we are collecting at this point. And as you can see, we've got 1507 in our rack. We did start with 1500, so we are slightly up at this point from collecting those little bits. And that's a good situation where you can show how that pays off. So if we had just invested everything into it, we had $182 up there, we would have been $182 down. But because we collected as we went along, we're actually up $7 at this point. Okay, so that's first shooter down. Decent size roll, 12. We were able to get everything across. Unfortunately, we couldn't then start taking advantage of that. Here's an 8, so we're out on the 8. And as I was saying, it does take long rolls for this to start paying off. Two, 1, 3. If you're getting a lot of 3, 4, 5 rolls, you're not going to have enough time to build it all up. However, you could, if you're hitting 5s, if you're hitting 6s and 8s, you could still come out in profit on a 3 roll. If you get a 6, 6 and an 8, you're still going to be up. Even if you get 2 hits on those, you're going to be up $10. So we hit that 6, 30 pays 35. We're going to take 30 of that and put it on the 5. There's a hard 10. That one doesn't help us. There's a 9. Not yet. Let's see if we can get one of these numbers here. There's another 9. Just a different way. Let's get a 5, a 6, or an 8. 12. And there's a 7 out, so we didn't make anything there. Although we didn't lose the full 60, we lost 55 because we took $5 from the 1.6 that we hit. Okay, so we're out on the 6. Start with $30 on the 6 and the 8. There's a 2, 1, 3. Five, 1, 6, lovely. 30 plays 35. Point is off. We'll establish another point, then we'll place the $30 on the 5. 7. We like it when the 7 comes when the point is off. There's an 8. Hard 8. 2 4s. Okay, let's put 30 on the 5. Let's see if we get a roll going here. No, there's a 7 out. Once again, we made $5 from our initial 60, so we lost 55 there. It says minus 90, but that's because we used some of our profit to place the 5. There's a repeater 7. Another 7, 3 in a row. As you can see, we're down about $100 so far through 3 shooters. We're in our 4th now. Okay, out on the 6. We're getting a lot of our points being 6s and 8s. But they're not getting too many repeaters after that. There's a 9. Five, we're going on either side. And the reason we place the 6 and the 8, it's out of the numbers here, these are the ones more likely to hit. There's more combinations, although the 9s and 5s are going at the moment. There's more combinations of 6 and 8 than there are of 5 and 9 and 4 and 10. But obviously the most combinations is the 7. So that stung us there. We didn't get anything there, no hits. On to shooter number 5, and we're out on 5 as the point. Okay. Once again, 30 on 6 and 8. And it's going to take it away from us. That's okay. We'll keep going. Luckily, on that first rollout, we did get a good example of it coming across. We didn't get to see it come back in again, but I think it did show a decent understanding of how the system is supposed to work. And this probably isn't a system you're going to play that often. The most beneficial systems are ones where you can get out of the hand quickly and then start using the casino's money to try and press your advantage there and catch on to a long roll. But it's always good to try out a bunch of different strategies, see what's fun. Sometimes if you're happy to lose the money, you might play something like this just because it's fun. See if you can go up and down the board. Okay, decent start this time. Point is off, so we'll wait for a new point before we place the 9. There's Snake Eyes. Let's go out again. And we're on the 6. And we're going to place 30 on the 9. Okay, let's see if we can get some more numbers here. There's a 5, so 30 pays 32. We're only going to use 30. We'll take 12. Well, minus the vig of 1, so we'll take 11. 2, 1, 3. And now we want to get a 4 so you can see it working the other way. Same as how it was working before, except you just come back up the board. That's where it comes from, going up and down the board. 8, okay, because we've already placed the 9, we are going to collect that 8, so we'll take that 35. And because we've already placed the 30 on the 4, the 5 is effectively turned off, so we're just going to collect that. We are out of this hand now, which is nice. There's 11. And feel free, guys, to obviously change up your strategy if you want to. Now that we're out of the hand, you can get a bit more aggressive. You can just go to press and collect. You can just straight up press. I'm obviously going to keep going with this strategy because I'm testing it out. But in a live game, you can do whatever you want. You can switch it up. It's always good to change different strategies and see what's working. Remember to always gamble with what you can afford to lose as well. There's an 8. We're going to collect that one. And roll again. Okay, there's a 12. Another thing to be aware of is your bankroll. So as you can see now, we've got a total of 151 in bets up. We are actually in a positive $43 if we were to bring everything down. If we were to get a 7 now, we're still down $100. So there are situations where you might want to pull down and regress back to the start. So if we were, say, at 1,560, by pulling down everything else, we're back to where we started, and we're back to where we started with our bankroll. So it's always good to be aware of where you are in terms of bankroll, in terms of what you got out there on the board. Obviously, we're going to keep going because we're just testing the system. And there's a 7. So we're not playing for any money here, so we don't mind if we lose it all. Doesn't feel great even with fake money, but it's not going to hurt us in any way. Okay, point is a 4. We're up to shooter number 7. Let's start again. It's 2, 1, 3. 6, 1, 7. Okay, shooter number 8. See if we can establish a point. Hard 6, 2 3s. 30 on the 6 and 8. And you can choose whatever denomination you want to play with here. I just chose 30 as an arbitrary number. But you want about 10 times your initial bet as a bankroll, so you'd want to start with at least $600. For this one, I'd say you'd get away with $500 because you do every now and then you make some money back, so you're not going to, unless you're having terribly bad luck, you're not going to get no hits through all 10 shooters. For instance, here we've already placed a 9, so we're collecting that 35. If that happens twice throughout your 10 shooters, you've got another initial bet to play with. Okay, the 6 is hit. We'll wait for another point to come on, and then we'll place the 5. Hard 4. So we'll put the 30 on here. We've collected the 5. We've collected 5 from the 8, so we've collected 10 so far. And we're going to collect that one. Oh, and of course we've collected that one, so we now are effectively out of the hand. But let's see if we can get something going here. There's the 5, 30 days is 42, so we're going to buy the 4. Now let's see if we can hit a 4 and start working. We haven't been able to work back up the ladder yet. There's an 8, that'll be a collect for us. As you can see, once again, our total bankroll, we are in the positive. But in the rack itself, we're down $100. Because these bets here are not profit until you take them away. There's a 7, as you can see, not profit until you take it away. So we could have had 1549. We do have 1398. Okay, let's go out again. We're on shooter number 9. Out on the 10. At this stage, probably go a little bit further than 10 shooters just to see if we can get something going. It's a good start. 516. 30 plays 35. We'll get 30 on the 5. And if you're more risk adverse, you could always come out with smaller denominations here. So for instance, the 30 plays 35. Maybe you just place the 10 and you take 25 and profit. That way you've got 2 hits. You've taken 50, you're almost out of the hand already. Or you can start with lower denominations on the 6 and 8 as well if you want. There's a 5. Excellent. Pays 42. So we'll go up on the 4. Let's see if we can hit a 4. Another 5. We're going to collect that one. Come on, let's get that 4 so we can go back up the board. 6, we'll take it. 35. We're out of the hand now. A little bit of profit. There's the 11. Let's roll a 4. Another 11, repeater. Third 11 in a row. Loving those 11s right now. There's another 6. We'll take it. Okay, and as you can see now, for instance, if I was to take these down, you can see in the rack, we're actually up $60 and we can start again. So as I was saying earlier, be aware of your bankroll. If you're playing for real money, you might want to take a little bit more as profit. You might want to be a little more cautious. We're testing a strategy, so we're going to keep going. As you can see now, we are actually up in the rack now, so we're in the positive, which is nice. 516, we'll take that. Still waiting for that 4 or a 9 so we can get onto the 10, be all the way across. There's a 7 out. Okay, so that was, we didn't get to go back up the board. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see that yet, but that was a good little session there. We're back into the positive 1548, and even with our next shooter, number 10, we're only going to be a little bit down if we happen to 7 to 0.7 here. See, there we go, we'd only be down $12. Snake eyes. Okay, this is our final shooter. Let's see if we can get something going here. There's the 6. Put 30 out on the 5. 7 out. Not going to happen. Okay, we'll keep going. We've been through 10 shooters, but we'll just give it a couple more goes, see if we can start coming back up the board. We've managed to go down the board a couple times. Haven't managed to make our way up yet. And it's understandable, the 4 and the 10 are less likely to hit than these inside numbers, so waiting on them to come is less likely to happen. So you are more likely to be collecting than hitting those numbers. But it'd be nice to see it in action at least once. Okay, we're back out. We hit the 8 before, so we're going to get that 9 up. Let's roll a 9 now. 10. That would have been nice if we'd roll a 9 this one and that one the next one. Another 10. When we don't need them, that's okay. It's a hard 10, that one. 7 out. Okay, let's go again. Out on the 6. And even though we're down now, after the 10 shooters, we were actually up a little bit. So it was a successful strategy in a way. But obviously, if you're going to keep playing, there's obviously a chance that you're going to go back into the red. 9, then a 5, skirting around the numbers we want. There's the one we want, 6. Puck is off. Let's establish another point. There's a 7 at the perfect time. We love 7s when the puck is off. 2, 1, 3. Snake eyes, hitting all these fringe numbers. We don't want those. We want some common ones. There's a hard 6. Okay, we hit the 6 before, so we're going to place the 5. Another snake eyes. Let's get that 5. 4, almost there. 3, 1, 4. 5 and 8. 10. Those are the numbers we want, but they're at the wrong time. There's the 5. Cool. 30 base 42. Let's get that 4 up. Let's see if we can hit a 4. Almost. 2, 1, 3. There's the 8. We're going the other way. 30 base 35. Take $5. Put 30 on the 9. And 7 out. Okay, doesn't look like it's going to happen, but I think we got to see how the strategy works. Didn't get to go back up the ladder. We went down the ladder a couple of times, but let's just do an example of how it works. So we start on the 6 and 8. Let's just say a 6 hits. We're going to place the 5. 5 hits. Place the 4. If the 4 was then to hit, we would then place the 5. If the 5 was then to hit, we would then place the 6. At this stage, if a 5 or a 4 was hit, we'd be collecting. If a 6 was hit, we'd start going back the other way. So we'd put another, this time because we're on 60, we'd double what we're putting on, so forth and so forth. So that's the strategy that I was calling up and down the board. We didn't get to see it in full form, but we did get to go down the board a couple times. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was up and down the board. If you like this strategy, give it a go. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Catch you later, guys.